Okay. What's happening, folks? We're going live because I'm tired and I'm gonna just go straight through this thing. Here's the thing: if you read the title, you already know the subject. So I got this from actually Nicole Michelle and listening to Minister Jap earlier today. But I'm put a little twist on it. People asking what people are bringing to the table, and I think, what's happening, y'all? I think the question is probably about the new age. Because one of the things Nicole Michelle talks about is traditionalisms. People, women want traditional men, and men want traditional women. So, what's happening with you, Jay Young? So, what's going on is when it's breaking down, um, the new age is you're dealing with traditionalism versus non-traditionalism. So now you got new age men and new age women wanting old school stuff. So what's happening, Nigel? We gonna go in a second. I'm just laying down a little groundwork. Uh, so here's the problem: when you're asking people what they bring to the table, you asking people from an old school mentality. What are you bringing to the table traditionally? And these old school traditions are not what people are doing now. So now you got to change it up and be specific. Great Black Shark was popping. Texas MP was good. Now you got to ask some specific questions. Because think about it. You still hear the ladies in the community say they want a guy who provides and protects. Now, nothing's wrong with that. When a guy says, "Are you going to respond like an old school woman who got protected and provided for?" Then you have a conflict of interest. Like, not really. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? So Florida, all right. So now you're having this issue because this is what's going on. We haven't put the shit down in the practical application because the guys are complaining because it's like, okay, so you wanted me to be a traditional man and do everything a traditional man does. And when you're a new age woman, you get to hop out of being a traditional woman. You can be traditional one day and non-traditional another problem, right? So you get a consistent thing, he gets a mixed bag. That's not gonna work. So when guys started breaking it down, like, okay, if ladies say, I went to school, I got an education, I make this amount of money a year. So what is that? So now, if both of you are working, and both of you are bringing home the bacon, so what you're saying, you're splitting the roles of house duties, right? So you want him to cook because traditionally he didn't cook. So if you both working and he cooks, what are you gonna do that's non-traditional? Like if he cooks, if he cooks from time to time, are you gonna cut the grass from time to time? See what I'm saying? And when people that question, they're not being people asking questions, but they're not being specific. Like, so if I cook all week, are you cutting the grass on Saturday? And it's like, okay, so what exactly are you bringing to the table? Because I had this conversation actually with my mother over the weekend, where you can have two people working. One person works and provides for the house. The other person uses their money for the retirement. You know, yeah, but see, but even with Honey, you used to do the laundry since he liked cooking. So those are two traditional female roles. So what traditional male roles are you gonna do? Like you gonna go get the car's oil changed or what? Because this is the dynamic that's got to be on the table. Because if you're gonna be new age and you want things new, you're gonna have to do new stuff. You feel me? So problematic because when it's time to do stuff, that's the issue. Because a lot of and I'm not going, and I'm glad you typed that, Honey, but I'm just laying this down because my grandmother would always say that's what your mouth say. You know, this is why a guy saying you gotta break bread or hire somebody to do it. No. You can't hire another dude to be traditional. I'm gonna hire a dude to protect and provide. And when you hire, a chef and a maid, and we're gonna hire a guy. No, that don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. But that's the issue. So if you get an education, in what field, and how does that field help the relationship? You get what I'm saying? So if you say if he's in STEM and you're in an art, how does the art help the relationship, or vice versa? Because if both of you are making, you got to put your incomes on the table, right? So if you're a new age woman and you putting your income on the table, this is what he makes, this is what you make. This is how much debt he has, this is how much debt you have. This is his expenses, these are your expenses. Because since it's a new age of, the whole money situation, now we got to know what everybody's bringing financially. It can't be, this is what he's bringing and this is just me. Nah, don't work like that. Because what these guys are dealing with is people being ambiguous. I want a man to be this. Okay, what are you gonna be? You got to end. What are you gonna be? And then when it comes to what are you gonna be, it's this this fantasy stuff. What do you bring to the table as a new age woman? Because if you're not an old school woman, you're not you're not gonna be a homemaker. Cool, but since you're not gonna be a homemaker, what are you gonna be? So when we say what are you gonna be, we're not getting the response is just like, I'm here. I'm gonna provide you with something that's not tangible, that means something. It's no, you can't have no, it don't work like that. Plus, we're seeing it's aggravating ladies to be specific. And that's the problem. When we start getting specific, people start getting pissed. Because when you're specific, now you saying from the door, this is what I want. If you're telling me you bringing, what you're bringing to the table, and I'm not hearing nothing, this is what I get about you. I'll pay the mortgage, you pay the bills. Huh? Okay, well, I'll pay the mortgage and the bills, and guess what? You're going to put all your money into the retirement for the both of us. Huh? Yeah, you can't go out there just spending willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? And this is becoming it's not becoming a money problem. It's not becoming a plan problem. It's becoming a selfishness problem. Because when guys are getting specific about what you bring into the table as a new age woman, nothing. If you listen to me at work, fam, I'm gonna try not to cuss. I'm gonna keep this PG. And Zoo Life, I'm about to touch on that. These new age relationships, we're gonna build together. A lot of people have already had kids. As you get older, a lot of people had kids. Some people ain't trying to have kids no more, or trying to have more kids. So what exactly are you building without a family? Without building a family together? Not really anything. So what are you bringing to the table if you're bringing your kids? So if two people together, both of them got their sets of kids, predominantly if a man and a woman get together, she's going to have her kids, he's not going to have his. So what are you going to do for his kids that's not in the house? Because you're going to expect him to do for your kids that are in the house. Because those kids going to benefit off of that household, and his kid is not going to benefit off of that household. So how you going to chip in over there? What's up, Jewel? Hotep, man. Hold up, y'all. Hotep, am I interrupting anything tonight? Just let me know, fam. So the thing about it is, at the end of the day, since you want to be a new age person, we have a new age relationships, we need new age specifics. Okay, all right. We need new age specifics, because since you want a new age, okay, well, shoot, I'm sorry. Well, I got you. What's going to wind up happening is, since you need new age specifics, guess what? What you bringing to the table at the wedding then? Because traditionally, It was the woman's family who was supposed to pay for the wedding. Since y'all, since everybody is educated and making change, then and you want these guys to pay for it. That's non-traditional in itself. What you paying for? Which it's for real. Since you want a ring that costs a certain amount of money, he need a ring that costs a certain amount of money. See how the specifics don't get cool no more. It's like, what am I doing? Because the problem is with traditional relationships, there was a give and take, and nowadays, since there's a new age relationships, there's just a take and see if I could give the lease. You can't commit to a taker. And if you're not talking about specifics, guess what? If you're not talking specifics, people aren't telling you what they give, and then people don't feel like they're obligated to give, but they feel like if you're being with them, you're obligated to give to them. So let's throw the fantasy out of the window real quick. New age relationships, you working, he working. So if you don't want to, so when he want to have sex, you don't because you tired, and when he don't want to have sex because he tired, then both of y'all not having sex. So where's this relationship gonna go? You get what I'm saying? So what are you bringing to the table? Because both of you, quote unquote, say you're working hard and you ain't got time. Cool, no problem. So now that you ain't having sex no more, the relationship is probably gonna go in the trash. You know what I'm saying? So let me see something. Do you think that roles, what about the roles, Jay Young? Well, cupcakes, that's how you feel it. Exactly. You got to put something into these relationships. And if you don't want to put what you traditionally put in, what are you going to put in that you non-traditionally didn't put in? Here's the it ain't just an economic thing. It's just an effort thing. If you want him to be a traditional man, pay the major bills, mortgage and all the other bills, and you're working in this new age, are you gonna pay for the dates? See, or you gonna go, I should never have to reach in my pocket and do anything. Let me get this right. You want to be with a guy that you could live for free, but you won't pay for the date if you're saving your money. So this is why I'm talking specifics. So because ideally what some of you ladies are talking about, you want to get with a man who he pays the bills, he works, he pays the bills, but you're working and you just save your money. And if you can, he'll do the cooking, even though he pays the bills. He'll do the cleaning, even though he pays the bills. He'll take you out, even though he pays the bills. And you are bringing what? You're going to say, I had sex with him. So basically, you're a prostitute without saying you're a prostitute, and you ain't really hitting on nothing. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, maybe you get, if you got student loan debt, guess what? It's helping you pay down your student loan debt. But since you're paying down your debt, what if he has credit card debt? Would you take some of that money and pay down his credit card debt? Would you do that? Would you chip in on a car note or something? Would you do that? That's the problem, Jewel. Think about it. Think about it. Like you said, you bring your life. What does that mean, though? To a guy, like now, it's not just to a guy, but just in a relationship. If a guy told you the same thing, I bring my life, baby. Sound like an old R&B song, don't it? I bring me, baby. All of me, baby. I gave you my soul, baby. My heart, baby. I give you everything you need. What does that mean specifically? You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Jeff was popping. See, and that's the problem. Like that's just a magical situation, that nobody knows what that means. And now people are saying they're giving, but when you ask them what are they giving, they can't tell you anything. That's why I'm asking, what do new age women bring to the table? Because if she can't even say it, because the problem What's good, Travis? The problem is, you know, we have a communication problem between men and women, but women are not saying what new age women bring to the table. That's what's disturbing. When you ask the ladies, okay, what are y'all bringing to the table being this new crop of women? I bring me. Right. Exactly. So that's the thing. Wait a minute. I can't say. But that's the thing. If you can't say, okay, Tony, I'm saying this for the ladies to a degree. If you can't say what you bring to the table besides feminine energy, what does feminine energy produce as a woman? What does feminine energy bring to the table, especially in this new age? What does feminine energy bring to the table? Kendra, what's popping? Fish grease? That's the question. Look, I appreciate that you're feminine. I love that all day. But even with traditional women, feminine energy brought something. It brought her being a homemaker. You get what I'm saying? She made the home a better place. She was pleasant. Now nowadays, how many ladies are pleasant? If you're a new age woman, you might not be as nice as an old school woman. So if you're not going to be as nice, what are you doing to compensate for that? And some people are trying to revert back to being feminine because they're realizing that they really ain't bringing much, and this is why I'm leaving sex out of the equation. That's the problem. See, they got love for you, Kendra. You be killing them out in these streets, Kendra. No, the entitlement does not count. Because entitlement doesn't add up to anything. And this is about being specifics. The guys is telling these ladies, okay, if you're not bringing anything to the table, you got to break bread. And women are getting upset because the guy's like, well, when I'm asking you what you're going to do, you're not saying nothing, so you're going to have to pay for that, period. And it's like, wait, and I get it. Some of you ladies have that rhetoric going on, and I understand the rhetoric, get the bag. Well, if you got a new age mindset, you're going to have to bring a bag to get a bag. That's what's going to wind up happening, because, me and the fellas talking, I was talking to some of my homegirls about certain stuff like this last night, because the reason I bring this up is because I was talking to a few female friends of mine, and they were telling me how the guys, as they got older, are starting to be on some bull. Guys are asking them for money that are too old to ask people for money. And part of what I was thinking about it was, I was like, now you're getting older and you're meeting more and more trifling men. And the problem with that is you can't find guys who aren't trifling because they're not around the spots that you at. You get what I'm saying? Break bread, gotcha. Jewel, I ain't talking about no doggone white bread, no wheat bread, okay? You know what I'm saying? I don't no flat bread, cash bread, okay? Don't you start. Oh, you think they don't know, Kendra? Okay. So that, that becomes a problem. So they meeting these guys. Cool gent, what's popping, man? They meeting these guys, and now it's like, oh, what's happening? And I was like, this could be karma. And like, what do you mean? So, well, when you were younger, you wanted guys to pay you for your time because you were young, you were pretty, people wanted you, you had everybody's attention. And now these guys are old that you're meeting, and they want you to pay them for their time because they can date younger and they can get better. And that kind of sucks, but it is karma. So to a degree, sometimes you wind up dating yourself, but you're dating yourself and an older man, and he represents you at a younger age because this is part of this new age stuff that's going on. What's good, Jamar? Okay, fine. I'm gonna stop it. But this becomes an issue. Like, think about that. because for years I've seen, I've talked to people, I've been with people, I've watched other relationships, I've observed. I keep my eyes open, and that fantasy. I've seen those relationships where the guy made enough money, and then she wanted a maid, and then she wanted a chef, and then she wanted a babysitter, and then she got mad because the babysitter looked too good, the chef looked too good, the maid better be old. Okay, so what exactly are you doing in these situations? I've seen people in these situations where I don't need nobody, but I want somebody. Cool, no problem. So what do you do for the people you want? Because here's the specific part. If you don't need people, understandable. But if you want a person, what are you doing to let the person know that you want them on a regular basis? I was talking to a good friend of mine last night about spending money. Like, yeah, I mean, if you're not gonna be nice to these guys, if you're not gonna be nice to these guys to tell them that you want them, if you're not gonna do any gestures like cooking or cleaning to show them that you like them, and you want them to always do things for you so you can feel like they like you, then what exactly are you bringing to the table? Thus, the introduction in the overabundance of side chicks, because some of these side chicks are just chicks who know they lazy and wouldn't be a good woman, a good girlfriend, a good wife. So they just want a man when they want a man because they want the excitement. It's not just um, guys getting over on women being side chicks. It's also new age relationships are lazy. You know, a dude with a side chick, he actually feels the excitement quota, just like a bad boy. I'm with this guy. He got another woman. It's exciting. It's fun. But I don't have to be his woman. He just wants me for fun, and all I do want is fun. So here you go. Exactly. It is a softer term for homewrecker. And I agree with you. The dating is out of whack, Kendra, but that's the problem. A lot of people don't want to say it's a lot of salt in the game right now. I'm going to tell you why. For all the people who went to school and they're educated, you know, how many people going to say that some of your child support is going to Sally Mae? You had kids, but was paying your part of was paying your student loans back as your child support. See, that's new age too. People don't want to talk about that. What's new age is to be in so much debt at some point. Now you need to find somebody to get you out of whatever situation or help you in a situation. Really doesn't have to get you out of it. It's not like not calling people leeches. I ain't gonna say that. But what I'm gonna say is when people working with you, they helping you get out of a situation, but you're not helping them increase their situation. And this is the problem. So when we asking what you bringing to the table, we don't want to hear that silence. Like, seriously. In the era of fast food, like years ago, I was talking to a young lady, and I said, so what do you because I'm in the South. It's like, so you know how to cook? She's like, no, but I know how to order and go out. I said, okay, so if I get with you, I know how to cook and you don't know how to cook, but you know how to order. She was like, yeah. I said, so if that's the case, every time I'm around you and you want to get something to order to eat, you buying it, right? And she was like, like, what do you mean? I mean, if all you do is order food all the time, what is the problem? I mean, since you ordering wings and pizza and all that's every time. So if I come over, I know you're not cooking, you ordering. So you paying if you ordering, right? Nah, that wasn't her ideology. That's a problem. Uh-oh. Don't come to the end. Okay. What up? So what we gonna do about this? Like, we gonna talk about specifics or what? If you want to have James Jackson, what's up? But exactly. So if you can't, like, think about this. If you can't cook or clean, then pay a phone bill. See, now you with new age. Now you taking these masculine roles. Pay my phone bill. How about that? Let's actually see how much equality you want. When I need a fade, y'all see these waves ain't coming in yet. I'm working on them. I've been working hard to get these waves, but they're just not coming right now. But when I need a shape up, won't you give me some money then? Because if I'm doing everything else, what's the problem? Because all this leisure is starting to get aggravating for some guys. Guys are tired of taking y'all out. Guys are tired of y'all talking about y'all want to shop, y'all want to go on vacations, y'all want to go on a million dates, but you're not doing anything for these guys. Like, the issue is very, very, very simple about specifics. Because when you're talking to a lot of these ladies, and guys can when they ask, what did you do for your last boyfriend? A lot of guys normally, I did everything. Vague. So when you say specifically, like, what did you do? And then so it's like, okay, so you didn't do nothing for this guy. And the reverse of that is, well, he was verbally abusive, or he cheated, or he's not a good person, or I think he cheated on me with my baby sister, type things. Like, okay, well, what was he doing for you at the time? Like, what do you normally do? And one of the things we talked about was, people are good interviewers. People tell you they tell you something good. I'm a good person. I'm this person. I'm this type of person. I do this type of stuff. But when you actually get with them, they don't do none of that. But then they tell you, I'm hardworking, I'm strong, I'm educated. But if you're so educated, how come you ain't smart enough to learn that you need to do something for somebody if you with them? If you're making so much money, how come you can't buy a guy a gift that ain't on Christmas or his birthday? I don't understand. Because what guys are asking for is not really much. And if you can't do the little bit that guys are asking for, then what are you saying? Because what I said before, it's just laziness. Like, in society, you pay for laziness. See, if you don't want to cut your own grass, you got to pay because you don't feel like doing it. You don't want to clean your own house, you got to pay because you don't feel like doing it. You get what I'm saying? You don't feel like fixing your car on your own, you got to pay because you don't feel like doing it. So if you don't actually feel like reciprocating in a relationship, you got to pay. Since it's a new age, because let's be honest, man. I think one of the issues is people in society right now have no problems telling you they ain't worth a damn on site. I ain't gonna look. I'm this type of person. I ain't gonna do this. I ain't gonna do that. I'm like this. Yes, I'm like this. Yes, I'm mean. Yes, I'm mean. But you gonna take me as I am? No, I'm not. No, it's not finna happen, man. Not finna. Not gonna do it. What do you mean? Why would I take that? Smarty smart. Okay, I'm gonna outline it again. What I mean by new age is this: the trope of educated, strong, independent, hardworking. But because I'm doing all those things, I am not traditional. I'm not gonna come home. I'm not gonna cook. I'm not gonna clean. I'm not gonna be nice or whatever. I'm not gonna be. I'm too tired to reciprocate love and affection in a relationship. So if you in that sphere, what are you gonna do? You feel me? Yeah, I feel you, JM. That's the problem. So if you don't want to be traditional, you want to be non-traditional, that's cool. But non-traditional has to have an outline. Think about it. Back in the day, being a rebel was non-traditional, but being a rebel has an outline. You're not you're nonconformist. You're not going to do the norm. You're not going to do. You're not probably as consistent as people who would go down a certain normal conformative path. You're going to hop in and out of society's rules and game rules when it's convenient, right? So people know if they're dealing with you, they're dealing with uh, fluctuations and uncertainty, maybe even chaos. So if you're new age, what's the model? What's the model for being new age? Like, what does the other person have to deal with if you're new age? If you're non-traditional now, what does the other person have to deal with? Think about it. If you're a guy, oh man, look, man, I don't want to be a traditional man. I don't want to be a traditional provider and protector. I want to dye my hair blonde on the end, wear some skinny jeans and a flowery shirt, and just walk around and be fashionable. And I feel good. Yes, I feel good. Like, how come you can't just take care of this situation, baby? Because I'm a new age man. I'm feeling my swagger, my new age sexuality. I'm looking like Odell Beckham at the Met Gala, but I ain't doing all that old school shit. Okay. You knew what you got when you got with me. You get me expressing myself. What does expressing himself really bring to the table? You feel me? Nobody's gonna put up with that. I ain't even talk. I ain't even worried about the single mother part, man. Smart. Did they create? No, Sidechicks always been there. You know, the same way women feel unappreciated in relationships, and they wind up talking to other people, is the same way men feel unappreciated in relationships and they wind up talking to other people. It's the same thing. This is part of the reason for this topic. If you're gonna have new age relationships, you got to understand you're gonna have to still do something to keep your partner. You remember the old school phrase, the same thing it took to get your baby hooked is gonna take the same thing to keep them. But in the way people are approaching this stuff, you're not doing anything to hook the person and you're not doing anything to keep them. So what exactly you're gonna have to change the specifics of what you're doing to keep them? That's the problem. Like when I'm asking what do new age women bring to the table, I'm asking what are you doing to get these men and keep these men? And that's the problem. And I've seen it over and over and over again because I've been listening to the ladies on their own panels, and I've been listening to the men on the panels, and I've been listening to the panels with men and women. And it keeps being blank when it's like, what do you do to get these men, and what do you do to keep these men if you're not going to do the traditional things? Nobody has an answer. And when people are trying to get specific, nobody wants to talk. So to me, it's just flat out, I don't want to do nothing. I want to be with somebody that allows me to not do nothing. And when I get comfortable in doing nothing, I'm going to say I'm accustomed to doing nothing. So you dusty is what you're saying. The new age is to be dusty and say, you need to make it comfortable for me so I can be dusty. And then you owe me because you put me in a situation that allowed me to be dusty. But I'll be mad at you if you leave because you just gonna let this dustiness be by itself. Problem, right? Yeah, I feel you, Truck. It is being a child. It is being a child. It's problematic. It's very, very problematic because now there's nobody, there's no standard. And I think there's no standard on purpose. This is why it's interesting to me. There is no standard on purpose. It is vague on purpose. Because what winds up happening is, what are we doing? It's like investing in the stock market. You want the most return for the least amount of investment. But here's the problem. People ain't stocks. People don't like getting used like a stock. A stock is an inanimate object. If you look at a human being like a stock, you're going to have problems at the end. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got the most out of you for the least amount of effort, and I get to walk away with a smile on my face. No, you might wind up catching them hands. that Anuski, see that's the issue, Trina. It does come off as heartless. So when you if in a new age the relationships are heartless, you can't complain about being approached in a heartless manner. So this is a two-way street. You know, if you want the most for the least, and I'm just using with your comment as an example. I'm not talking to you directly in a sense, Trina. But if you want the most for the least, assume that the person, when they figure that out, they're gonna want the most out of you for the least. Period. And then you gonna and this is the problem. You're gonna feel like you're being hustled because you're dealing with a person who wants to hustle you, and now you gotta hustle them, but y'all still talking. Why? For what? What are you talking about? Who gonna win at being the biggest jerk to the next person? It don't make no sense. Exactly. And then it's the mind games. And then people don't want to play the games. Now what? So now if you don't want to play the games no more, you wrong for not wanting to play games with somebody who want to play games. That don't seem that don't at a certain age, it's like, come on now, seriously. You know, I, I feel you. That is what we're doing, Trina. But the problem is, you know, let me ask you specifically, Trina. If you, what do you think a new age woman should bring to the table? Because if she doesn't want to be traditional, type that out in the chat for me. If she doesn't want to be like a traditional woman anymore, what should she do in a relationship with a guy to, to level um, the playing field? No, well, and sex ain't gonna count. Because I'm trying to keep it PG. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, when you enter the realm of prostitution, you ain't gonna never be respected. Period. Pay your own bills. She should be willing to go Dutch. Activities. See, no. I feel what you're saying, but if what she should bring to the table is be willing to, I need to know what she should do, not be willing to do, actually do. This is why I made this. I'm making this post because I would like specifics. What should she specifically do? Not I'm willing to. No, what are you gonna do? You know, because will is a good thing, but action is a better thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm willing to send you $100 right now, but I ain't gonna do it. So tell me something that you will do. The playing field can't be level without her being traditional. Yeah, you see it too, huh, Kendra? And this is what's interesting to me. But the ladies want committed relationships. So you want a committed relationship, but that's the crux of the argument. You want a committed relationship. You want a man to commit to you, but you don't want to commit to anything, to do anything to him, with him, for him. Problem. Like this is because he a man. Okay, well, if you're not gonna do anything for him because he a man, why are you with him? Because he doing something for you. But you want him to accept that because he's a man, he's got to take a bare minimum or nothing or little to nothing, and that's acceptable. It's not acceptable. You know what, Trina? I get that some men won't let them do it, but that's not the point. The point is, think about it. Even there comes a point. What are you going to actually do, though? You know, what are you going to actually do? Because even financially, even with this new age stuff, right? When we look at our community, the men financially are still worth more than the women financially. And the women still benefit off of traditionalism from men, even if they're not married. So you're still getting free money, free resources from guys that you're not even married to, but you're still winding up with little to nothing. And to me, it goes under that premise: easy come, easy go. And if once you get that mentality of, a guy's gonna do it, a guy's gonna do it, a guy's gonna do it, here's the problem. And then you get mad when guys are not doing it anymore. The issue is maybe you should have paid for something or done something or put some sweat equity into the game, because you're getting what you're putting out. And if you're putting out nothing, you're getting nothing back in the long run, and you're mad that you're getting back nothing in the long run because ladies aren't getting like commitment from these guys, or ladies not getting married and whatnot. It's because these guys don't see you doing anything worth marrying. They don't see you doing any wifely things worth marrying. Even if you new age, they don't see you putting in any type of effort to actually be in a productive long-term relationship. You can't build with a person who doesn't want to do anything for the other person. You know what I'm saying? That's like think about that. How could you build a house if you like me and you a house? We gonna build a house together. We a team. We gonna build together. So I lay down the foundation, and now it's time for you. I lay down the concrete and the foundation on the slab, and now it's time for you to put up the wooden sides. And you're like, I don't feel like doing it. So now I got to put up the sides. So now, okay, so now it's nailed and everything, and it's together. Now you got the outlay of the house, and it's like, okay, well, now we got to put in the wiring and the plumbing. We a team. I don't feel like putting in the wiring and the plumbing. Oh, okay. You don't feel like putting in the wiring and the plumbing either. Okay. But we a team. We together. Okay. We gonna build together. Oh, okay. Now it's time to put the roof and the siding and the roof and the the siding and the roof. I don't feel like doing that. So you do that too. Okay. But we building together. Okay. So now you're putting in the sheetrock and all that, and now you're putting in the amenities, kitchen, living room, carpet, wooden floors, all this, that, and they still don't feel like doing that. And then, not a whole house is really done, right? And then they say, we did it. We a team. We built together. The other person will be like, no, go on somewhere. Get the hell out. We ain't build shit. You never felt like contributing. This ain't yours. Go. Bye. Done. You know what I'm saying? There are ways to contribute. Help him. Uh-huh. Right. You're right. Helping doesn't mean that. And I did a video about that recently. Black men are looking for a helpmate. But the problem is you're seeing people who have an aversion for helping. I don't want to like uh people ain't trying to help. The resume part, they might not even be with a guy who need a resume written because he don't have a job to a degree. That's what that imply for some people. Advertising for his business, I'm not gonna lie, that actually is that is a good thing, but I don't think who's meeting these type of guys on a regular basis, because those guys are already advertising if they have a business. You know, that's the problem. Like, contribute. I like the fact that you say people got to contribute in other ways. You put things down. I appreciate that. I really do. So don't think I'm gonna pick it apart, Trina. I appreciate that you put some things down there. So appreciate it, fam. You know, Mr. Kevin, ask the question. Yeah, ask the question. I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna catch it. Uh, well, a pimp and hoe relationship is completely different. I mean, we're turning into that, to be perfect. We're not even turning into that. We're turning into a trick and prostitute relationship. We're not turning into a pimp. That was a different time. Like, even that relationship evolved over time. You know, because that's not a normal. Bro, I can't. I don't even want to get into that because I'm gonna start cussing, and I don't want to. I said I'm gonna try not to cuss, but basically, they were loyal to pimps because pimps would get them out of the jams that they were in with these tricks. They were their protection. They were paid protection also. They weren't just paid to pimp. They was paid to protect. And they was paid because a lot of them chicks was bad with money. So the pimp could benefit off of girls being bad with money. And just like now, any guy could sell a woman a dream and she believe it, because if it's a good dream and it means, and part of the dream is you don't ever have to work again, they're gonna fall for it. Just out of the idea that, I might not have to do anything ever again in life. Don't promise stuff that you can't deliver on. But, a lot of the guys can make promises that they know they can't keep, and they know they're going to keep the woman around because they want to hear that. But it is what it is. Dang, Rogue, you ain't had to take it there. I seem calm most of the time because I wear myself out. I work, I do a lot. Like, like this morning, I got up and did sit ups. I ran 4 miles. I went to work, and I came home and I'm doing this now. I'm chill because I did pretty much all I had to do today. Tomorrow's the same thing. Like I overwork, so I'm relaxed. Like when I get home, I want to relax. I don't want the shenanigans. So I'm off the chain at times, but not when I'm at home, for the most part. Even like smart. Even the basic things, the needs of a man. Here's the thing: side chicks. Side chicks are the equivalent to the guy on the side. Basically, side chicks know that these guys aren't getting affection at home. This comes from a society that keeps pimping love. And part of the love is appreciation. If you don't appreciate who you got at home, somebody else gonna appreciate them. So what you gonna do then? What you gonna do when another person says, I will treat you better than the person you're with by the time you get home? Because that's gonna be an issue. Let me see what's up with this doggone mic real quick, because I don't know which mic it is. But that's one of the issues. Everybody don't want to talk about it, but that's about being specific. What are you doing? And then when people have those conversations, I think we have a hard time having an adult conversation about what are your roles, because people want roles in a relationship, but people don't want the mundane responsibility of fulfilling their role on a regular basis. And sometimes that's an understandable thing. Sometimes you will actually want the person to do what you're doing on a regular basis to kind of to give you a break. That's what traditionalism was about. That's what, the homemaker thing was about. She was the homemaker, but you'll take her out from time to time. Look, you don't need to be home cooking and cleaning all. Let's just go out and let's have a night on the town, and you don't have to do all that stuff. Let somebody do it for you. You get what I'm saying? Or the guy will cook. This is part of the whole grilling culture to a degree. When the guys was grilling, wife didn't have to cook. It was a way to give people a break and to appreciate them when you're at home. Can women be loyal? Yeah, women could be loyal, but they're not raised to be loyal right now. Like women, right now, people are just opportunists right now. The loyalty is in getting over right now. Exactly, fam. They want the title, but not the duties behind it, and it's messed up. Dang, wait, Rose, she beat up her pimp trying to. Oh dang, oh dang. Oh, who's the pimp in that relation? You know what? I ain't even gonna get into that, fam. Yeah, y'all see that. The thing is that grandma dedicated her life to cooking, cleaning, and raising the kids, and grandpa still had another family across town. So we look at that. Okay, Trina, I'm glad you said that. I was raised by my grandparents. And here's this fallacy, especially about women, talking about old school women. My grandmother made this statement, and I made it in a video today that, back in my day, baby, we had when we told men that the kid was theirs, they had to believe us. See, some of these men were raising families, and some of all them kids wasn't theirs, and they knew it. So this ideology that the men was the only ones cheating, no, not true. The other thing is, a lot of y'all don't realize these houses that y'all grew up in, that's quote unquote big mama house, that was your granddad's house. He died early. Men died before women, period, point blank. So some of this history is not as cut and dry as y'all think, you know. And when people are raised to believe that everything ain't fences, you know what I'm saying? Let's be honest about that. You know, that same ideology is the same idea, comes from the same group of people that say, oh, that could be the milkman's baby, that could be the mailman's baby, that could be that could have been Bobby Womack baby. You know, think about that. The same area you're talking about with a guy with a house or family across town is also the same era that, mama's baby, daddy's maybe. So that's the issue. Like, if you don't keep growing up thinking that the men were always just the ones that were cheating and leaving, and no. Listen, by the time I get to Phoenix, yeah, that's an old Isaac Hayes song about him going to work and coming home and finding his old lady getting smashed by some dude on numerous occasions, to the point where he just left town. It's a two-way street. I think we don't discuss the old school history part of that part like that. Hell no, AM1. Worried about I don't even like that consciousness and crystals and chakras, because it's always it's nothing tangible. Nothing tangible. What tangible things are you talking about? I don't want to hear about your chakra. This ain't the Avatar. I'm not Aang. I'm not from the air tribe. I don't want to hear your water tribe, fire tribe, earth tribe. I don't want to hear none of that. I ain't seen these crystals do a damn thing. Only crystals that I know work for sure is salt. So can you? Yeah, I could season with salt. I know about them crystals. Sea salt preferably. Just saying. But this other stuff, nah. Honey, you could give me that side eye if you want to. What's up, Bo? LF, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. If you don't want to be traditional, you don't have to. But what are you doing in your non-traditional sense? And if the men don't want to be traditional, what is he doing to compensate for being non-traditional? That's what I'm talking about. Like, if you want to be non-traditional, cool, no problem. Damn it, I got 75. But thank you. If you want to be non-traditional, cool. But what is the responsibilities of a non-traditional person? What do non-traditional people, whether that be man or woman, what do you bring to the table as being non-traditional? And that's where we have the problem. When it says, okay, what are you gonna do? And truth be told, it looks like responsibility, running from responsibility or duty or obligation is becoming a mantra of being non-traditional. Oh, I'm non-traditional, so I ain't got to do nothing. I'm non-traditional. That ain't my job. Okay, no problem. If I work and you work, we both. No, because that don't mean we both contribute. No, because if I work and you work, that does not mean we're both going to contribute equally. That is not how it works. That's the crux of the conversation. You know, because traditionally, you know, like LF, if you went to college and I went to college, if you have student loans and I don't, You gonna want me to, and we make the same amount of money. You gonna look at me some type of way because you got to pay your student loans off, right? You feel me? Like you, like here's the problem. Won't you be traditional and pay the majority of this stuff because I got student loans? Well, wait, I thought you was non-traditional. Well, why I got to do that? I mean, you gonna pay them yourself. Like I ain't gonna, yeah. I ain't gonna help you. What are the origins of the traditional? It's not like all women are born with a cooking. It's not like all men are born with. I need to pay. I need to be a protector and a provider for everybody. Because this ain't even. I'm gonna tell you something. This is not just a relationship thing. Remember they had all these arguments online about what's up, legend? Uh, Guys building, providing, protecting, and building the industry and all this, that, and the third. Part of that discussion was you wanted the men as a collective to do to treat the women a certain way in general. Well, how are the women treating the men in general? You get what I'm saying? Not good. So if you don't have to be in a special position to be nice to a person. You don't have to be in a relationship to be nice to a person. You don't have to be in a relationship to be cordial to a person. You don't have to be in a relationship to do a nice deed for a person. Like yesterday was Mother's Day, and damn, I forgot. I was scrambling the whole day, but I wound up going to get something to eat, right? Because I didn't cook. While I was at this restaurant, it was a lady sitting at the bar, and it was Mother's Day. It was a sister. So as I ordered all the food that I was ordering, I told the bartender, I said, listen, whatever she orders, since it's Mother's Day, I'm gonna pay for it. So I paid for her stuff, but I was actually on the phone. I left because it was too loud. I came back, got my stuff. She said thanks. She knew I wasn't trying to holler at her. She knew why, because I guess the bartender told her I was going, and it was cool. But that type of treatment, I was like, black man see a black woman, it's Mother's Day, cool, whatever. But there is those type of things don't happen to us as men pretty much at all from our women. Just a nice gesture in general. So that's the part of being non-traditional. Being non-traditional means you ain't got to be nice to nobody. Appreciate your AM1 fam. That's part of the issue. It's just the origin of being nice to somebody. Like how you, because being new age means you don't have to be nice to a person, and so you get to be mean to somebody, you get to not do things for people, but you want people to be nice to you and do stuff for you. It makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. But when we talk about this, it's like people got, yeah, to a degree, yeah, Trina. What are the what are you doing as an expression of kindness? And a lot of people ain't doing much. I'm gonna just be honest with you. They're not. There's this video, and it's on YouTube. It's a clip of a movie clip where the guy that plays, if anybody's seen The Watchmen, the one that plays the guy with the mask, he's a short actor. He was in a movie and he had his wife and him and his wife divorced, and they saw each other at a party. And it's a white couple, so I'm gonna make this a black-white thing. But what he said to the ex-wife was she was mad that he was there, and he grabbed his drink. Rorschach, yeah, the guy that played Rorschach. He got having a conversation with his ex-wife, and he said, when I take these young girls out, they're nice. They say thank you. They appreciate the meal. They actually like going to these places and having a good time. They're not going to argue with me about everything. That's why I take them out, because they're actually nice. I was married to you and you weren't nice. And he just walks off. And she sit there and she's like, and it's like she couldn't say that she wasn't mean to the guy, obviously, by the scene. She went to the bar, grabbed some champagne, and just like, oh, mother. Where are the acts of kindness? Because if you're in a new age, what is the new age way to show kindness to a person? What is the new age way to show that you care about a person? Nobody knows. And it's weird that nobody knows, but they have all these expectations about, they know what you're supposed to do for them though. That don't make sense. It makes absolutely no sense. I know what you're supposed to do for me in this new age, but I don't know nothing. I know what I'm supposed to get, but I don't know what I'm supposed to give. That's a lie. That's a complete utter lie. You know, and I didn't realize my long-winded ass was on here so long. So you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to shut this down, and I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good night. Uh, I might have to go get some wings because I ain't cooked. So catch y'all later. Peace.